Hi everybody, we're just waiting for the stream to Facebook and YouTube to take over, and we will, as we log into that, we will get right into this. So let me hi everybody, we just kick that off and we'll get straight into this right now. I hope you guys are seeing the page that I'm seeing right now, which is the economic calendar. Welcome to our daily brief today for the 30th of September 2020. We'll be looking at the economic calendar and a quick market overview today. Fascinating time in the market, lots going on, and some decisions made for important products today. So we'll talk about that in a moment. The major news, the US presidential debate kicks off around now, and that could well have a decent impact on the markets as we look to see whether Trump or Biden are the ones that can make a statement or make the least mistakes or tell the least lies or get caught in the least lies. All kinds of possibilities when those two come together. So that'll be watched with interest around the market, and we could see some volatility, particularly in US dollar. And because of US dollar and everything that's valued in US dollars, indices, commodities, the whole lot could move around a fair bit if we see something here. I think particularly at this stage, if we saw a strong showing from Biden, the market may start and feel that he's starting to close the door on Trump, and we may start to see some positioning based off that. I think a strong showing from Trump may see some movement, but it may be a bit less because he's still got longer to go before he was to really get back into this. News for today, the presidential debate's not in here. We've got ECB President Lagarde speaking, be watched with interest after comments recently that there was some dissent in the ECB. Be interesting to see what she does with that. I think she'll be trying to perhaps move on from that pretty quickly. Then we've got ADP non-farm employment change in the US. Not normally a big number, but with NFP coming out, the market may have a bit of a look at that number versus expectation as a bit of a guidance to what may come on NFP day. It's not a particularly accurate gauge, but it's something that the market can watch, and it's the only really way to get a bit of a feel for it. Bank holidays coming up in China the next few days, and I think really NFP on Friday remains the overriding big news for the week, and it'll do the most to move our markets. For now, for me this morning, it is if you're a retail trader, smaller account type guy, you need to be at reduced risk and taking genuine care through this presidential debate. Could be sharp moves, and as that's the case, what we might see here is a little bit of money made quickly or an account lost just as quickly. So put your risk back, take care through these times is my advice to you. Looking at the charts, it really is a fascinating time for a lot of stuff technically, and we'll start back here on the NASDAQ as we always do. Just going to move my picture out of the way. And we've seen the NASDAQ pop back into this area here. We said it might range. It's popped up towards the top of the range, and it has started to reverse. It's possible the top of the range, as far as the market's concerned, might be the top of the bodies of these candles, which are tested perfectly. And that may be the range that's starting to form here. And wouldn't be surprised to see the NASDAQ sit within this range until NFP on Friday. Again, the presidential debate could make quite a difference to that quite quickly. So a little bit of care. S&P 500 broke above our trend line here. A little bit of a retracement, a little bit of a nothing move here. And again, for mine, I'm really looking for this at the moment. As far as I'm concerned, this has got lower lows and lower highs, and my bias needs to be bearish at this point, possibly allowing for a retest of this level of resistance before we move down. But overall, for mine, bearish, but not as clear as perhaps the NASDAQ was. Oil's been good to us all of a sudden. We've been talking for a few days now about this range between here and after the test of the high that we might see a bit of a move down towards the bottom. If you got into that yesterday, we're about halfway down, and I'll be taking a little bit of profit around here and setting my target for the bottom to see what happens again. Oil's traded in US dollars, so volatility from the election could impact this quite quickly. Euro dollar, here we go. Talked about this yesterday, that this range had been established, we'd broken below, and we could be headed for a retest of the bottom of it. And that's exactly where we are. We're at a retest of this range and decision time now. In reality, a move and a close back in this range would be quite bullish. It would suggest this is a failed breakout, and we would be starting to look quite bullish on the euro. On the other hand, a bounce here and a close back down around halfway down this bar for me would be very bearish, and I'd be looking for shorts tomorrow. So a decision time for the euro, and what I'm going to do as a trader is I'm going to let it make its mind up, and then I'm going to follow. I'm not going to try and preempt what the market will do. I will follow along as a trader. Dollar yen appears to have jumped back into this range here. And again, I know that monthly pivot sits just up above this level at the moment, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to see a little test of monthly pivot here and then a test at the bottom of this range. So we'll keep an eye for monthly pivot in coming days, but for now, just a little bit bullish on dollar yen at this point. Now we've seen gold break out of this triangle and come back and test this 100-day moving average. We've seen buying off the 100-day moving average, and now we are again just approaching this resistance area. And look, these areas now aren't quite as accurate as they used to be. They're never exactly right, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this level again become really important, like the euro. If you like, the bottom of the triangle becomes a range. We break out, we retest, we make a decision, close up above here. Tomorrow, I'm starting to get bullish on gold, close down below halfway at the bottom, halfway through this bar, and I'm starting to get pretty bearish on gold. That's the market overview for today and the economic calendar. Thanks for joining us. I'll be back tomorrow at around the same time to do the same thing. If you have any questions, do pop them into the comments areas. If there's any other products you'd like us to talk about each day, pop it in there as well, and we will look after that for you as well. Keep an eye out for live videos today. We've got the team on UK Open, US Open. I think we've got on Wednesday. We've got Tea and Hot Sauce with Chloe and Orlando. And we're doing a preview for my show tomorrow. We're talking about trading psychology. So keep an eye for all that stuff, and I'll see you back tomorrow, same time. Cheers, everybody. Take care.